Good morning, everybody, and start by thanking you very much for attending and for coming along and hopefully joining in our conversation. But I also want to thank you for all the work you've done up to today, because I think one of the sad things about health and safety is that for a whole variety of reasons, the media tend to concentrate on the absurdities rather than the achievements. So I want to thank you personally, and I also, like David, just want to draw our attention that it's a sad fact that people are still killed at work, and somebody was killed, a worker was killed in Dudley on Friday. So it's apt that we're here talking about how we can improve standards. We started the road shows in Glasgow, and we've been to Cardiff, and now we're working our way around England. By the time we get to London on the 2nd of February, we'll have heard from hundreds, if not over 1,000 people directly. And we've engaged thousands more through what they tell me is called social media. So I'm not a Twitter person at all. Birmingham is a pretty obvious place for us to come. Not only is obviously one of the biggest cities in Britain, but also, of course, a major city in the West Midlands. It's got a proud and industrial and cultural heritage, and an exciting future lies ahead. Those of you perhaps who haven't been here for a while or came through the new Birmingham station would have been absolutely amazed at the turnaround and the investment. It looks fantastic. I think I haven't been here for about a year, and the changes is absolutely dramatic. So it's got an exciting future ahead. Service sector, sure, and tourism, but also because this area is well known, internationally well regarded on a manufacturing base. And equally important, it's got some pretty good transport links. So today's conversation is about building on a health and safety story that dates back all the way to the Factories Act of 1833. And we can be proud of the fact that we're one of the safest working countries in the world. We have a mature system of regulation with lots of experienced and committed participants. You could say it happened by accident, because a lot of it did. Hard lessons drawn down a long road of industrial accidents and disease. But that would only be a fraction of the story of the development of health and safety in our country. The successes that we've achieved have also brought with them problems and opportunities, to name a few. It is very challenging and will be challenging for us on this new approach and with yourselves to drive further improvement. But we must meet that challenge. In a search for continuous improvement, there can be a temptation for inappropriate standards for our staff or our supply chain. The increased awareness of health and safety expectations in society has led to them being misused and abused, damaging health and safety's reputation. The focus of safety challenges has detracted from effectively tackling health issues. All of us in this room are part of the health and safety system which has developed over the last 40 years. And we can be rightly proud of our achievements to date, but we know we can do better. And doing that in a proportionate and sensible way is the challenge. Better does not always mean doing more. It's about identifying and managing real risks and acting on them smartly. Having the courage to say when doing less might be more appropriate. We need to act together to gain broader ownership and commitment. That means we need to talk, share ideas, and find the courage to take some new directions. We need to broaden the membership of the health and safety system, and we need to identify potential synergies with other policy agendas here in the Midlands and around the rest of Great Britain. Employers, workers, trade unions, governments and others who are part of the system We all need to think hard about our role and our contribution. Together, we will develop and deliver a new strategy for the health and safety system that will help Great Britain work well, be more productive and be safer. I would like you to have 3 thoughts in mind today as we discuss the way ahead. Does your personal contribution to health and safety really help others or confuse them? Is ownership and responsibility for health and safety in the right place in your organisation and focused on the right things? What could you personally do differently to help us to create an even better health and safety system in Great Britain? And there are 3 things that our conversation and the new strategy will need to tackle. And they are ownership. This starts with all of us. We all have an active part to play in implementing the strategy, making it really come alive. You need to help identify the most important challenges and develop ways of taking collective ownership. That includes taking a good, hard look at whether our individual contributions actually help people and businesses. We care passionately about keeping people safe and well, but ownership will be key to success. The core process, the core business of the HSE is that people go home safely at night, and that will not be diluted. This process is all about enhancing that core process and doing it in a way that effectively will deliver smarter ways to work and safer ways to work and more productive ways to work. On health, we've achieved a lot on safety over the years, but there is much, much more that can be done on health. And it needs to be Britain's well-being and prosperity depend on better managing work-related ill health. 23 million working days are lost each year through work-related ill health. The annual costs to Britain are estimated at £9 billion. £9 billion. And that's in addition to the costs from ill health problems due to working conditions in the past, what we term the historical legacy. Boosting Britain's businesses. We'll only achieve better outcomes if businesses, especially SMEs, can get the right information at the right time and take the right action easily and efficiently. HSE has already updated the stock of health and safety legislation and guidance to help companies, but it just isn't enough. We all need to help smaller employers focus on the right things in the right way. And this is where larger companies and larger corporations have a very, very strategic role to play. And we must banish the myth that health and safety equates to bureaucracy. We have a better story to tell. Businesses actually benefit from the productivity, innovation and growth that health and safety done well can bring. We have set out 6 key themes in order to help focus our conversations. These will help shape the content of the strategy as well as the level of our ambition. Once the strategy is published, it will also help us to ensure we deliver on its intent. The first of the 6 themes is promoting broader ownership of workplace health and safety. What does that mean? Why is it important? Why is today different? Why is this new initiative different than you've seen before? And how it can be achieved? Because it does mean, actually, engaging everyone who shares the responsibility for helping Britain work well. Why? Because we all have a vital role at managing risk and preventing damage to individuals, businesses and the economy. How can it be achieved? Well, we want your help with devising the best ways. Ensuring people feel ownership of the health and safety system is certainly part of it. And someone said to me earlier, oh, I get it. You're offloading your responsibilities to us lot. Well, I can understand that comment, but the truth of the matter is, it is all our responsibility. That's the reality of it. Whether you're a regulator or whether you're trying to deliver a work in a business. All of it is related to exactly the same issue. We have to ensure people feel ownership of the health and safety system. And we need to find ways to demonstrate the benefits of showing that commitment to people who haven't fully engaged in the past. Opting out just isn't on any longer. The second theme of the strategy is highlighting and tackling the burden of work-related ill health, something, frankly, that may have been ignored for far too long. Last year, there were an estimated 13,000 deaths from work-related lung disease and cancer, reflecting historical conditions and standards, certainly. And 1.2 million working people were suffering from work-related illness. That's around 4% of Britain's entire workforce. 500,000 of those were new conditions that started during the year. So work-related ill health is a big problem for every section of society, and solving it requires action across all business sectors. It ranges from the long latency hazards that can lead to cancer and other diseases to musculoskeletal disorders. And the drive must come from all of those with a stake in keeping people healthy and fit for work and life. We want to hear your thoughts today about how ill health risks at work can be more effectively managed. The third theme is about small and medium-sized employers, about supporting them with straightforward advice that helps them work well. Working together, we've already done much to support SMEs, including producing straightforward tools and advice. Yet this is also one of those areas where significant challenges remain. Reaching SMEs is difficult, very difficult, but not impossible. More players in the system need to step up to the winner's podium with the best large businesses and intermediaries already gaining more efficient supply chains and productive relationships. They are doing this by pointing the SMEs they work with in the right direction. And that does not entail overcomplicated advice or unnecessary barriers and costs to doing business. This also feeds into the fourth strategy theme of enabling productivity through proportionate risk management. Well-intentioned but sometimes ill-informed advice to small, low-risk businesses needs to change. It can leave them thinking that the health and safety bogeyman, the insurers, and everybody else are waiting to pounce. That they need to have every conceivable risk, whether relevant or not, under lock and key and paperwork in triplicate. It's in all our interests to avoid feeding perceptions that risk assessments mean excessive paperwork, or that risk management means managing every task, however trivial or remote. This can be costly and inhibits productivity, creativity and growth, and of course, confidence. Managing the right risks in the wrong way can be just as wasteful, and focusing on the wrong priorities because they are less challenging is another trap we need to avoid. Health and safety professionals have a particular role to play here. Helping a small company get it right in an efficient and effective way is good for you, as well as good for your clients. Focusing on getting the right outcomes is more likely to mean the company will grow and come back for advice as it reaches the next stage in its development. Looking to the future also provides the fifth key theme, anticipating and tackling new health and safety challenges. This, once again, is for everyone in the system, but it is an area that HSE has a particular role, using its world-leading research capabilities. They're already being put to use, increasing HSE's own efficiency and targeting, as well as helping in Great Britain and overseas to improve health and safety and productivity. HSE's horizon scanning expertise will be used to the full, both by HSE and to assist governments as demographic, technological and global economic changes affect the world of work. But your ideas of how we can keep track of trends and changes, as well as any particular challenges you see on the horizon, are invaluable and they are vital. The final theme is sharing the benefits and successes of Britain's approach to health and safety, because it is about sharing best practice both at home and abroad, supporting higher standards of protection for workers in countries where it needs improvement. This can help project British influence overseas and make it easier for British businesses to expand into new markets and territories, as well as raising labour standards to UK levels. If we can all come together to help achieve these things and maintain the gains made in safety, it will help improve productivity, keep business costs down, and keep workers safe and well. Work should not make people ill. When it does, it is a cost borne by the individual, their family, the business, and many parts of the state. It is avoidable and often inexcusable. HSE will continue to take its responsibility as the prime mover in the system seriously. We will continue working with everybody here, co-regulators and colleagues across government, to ensure our regulation is as simple and as effective as possible, and to continue to leverage HSE's expertise to achieve improvements, such as the millions of savings to business that HSE's regulatory simplification brought over the last 5 years. Today, through today's and other speakers, the discussions you have and the experiences you will share, I hope that you can help deliver not only the best health and safety strategy in the world, but over the next 5 years, help us deliver on its promise. Today is part of the beginning, but it does start with you. By contributing to the strategy, you're helping to build a safer, healthier and more prosperous Great Britain. You are helping to protect lives, the quality of life and livelihoods. You are helping employers to innovate, be more productive and grow. You are, in every sense of the phrase, helping Great Britain to work well. Thank you for your attention and for listening. And I'll repeat what I said at the beginning. Thank you, probably for the hundreds and maybe thousands of working men and women who've actually gone home safe at night because of the things that you've done in your time working in this field. You may never meet them, but their families thank you, and I thank you. Thank you very much.